Hey guys, what's up? We just had some big and great news being released by the developers of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Coming up soon into the 5th edition of the Muerto Times, there's going to be over 250 fixes that are currently into testing to come up to this game. And these ones that they are mentioning right here are great. These are exactly what a lot of people have been asking. This really came out of nowhere for me. They had an update coming up yesterday, which was not such a big deal. Like the major change for them was fixing the car bug on gas station and changing the fact that you can no longer see the levels of the players into the lobbies and as well as the parties if their players are together or not, which has a way of the developers to try to minimize the lobby dodging, which I think this is gonna backfire and is not gonna really work as intended. But well, they are coming up right now with a bunch of fixes that are exactly what a lot of people have been complaining about. And I think that this is actually the stuff that is going to improve the game. A lot of people have been lobby dodging and doing this and that because they feel like they are playing in an unfair situation, and a lot of these changes might help them in regards to that. And this is really a good surprise for me because there have been so much focus on all these new paid DLCs by the developers, like these new overpriced paid DLCs, and I thought that like they actually forgot about trying to do what people are asking. Now they just want to just sell stuff to make more money out of this game, but they sure have proved me wrong here if they are planning on doing this and even more into the future, which is exactly what people have been asking in regards to gameplay changes. First, the Grandpa cutscene that everybody complains about. You get the Grandpa cutscene whatever you're doing at the moment, especially if you're like Leatherface, your chainsaw can get overheated, and it just it just gets annoying. Like I get it why it exists. It's part of the game. Like that's when the it means like for the killers that the usually it can't mean that the victims have been able to escape. They have opened one of the doors of the basement, or sure, it can also be triggered by making a lot of noise, and they can kind of like so they don't so that the victims don't let the family know that they open a door. But usually like it means like a change into the mechanic because like before Grandpa awakens, like there's only Leatherface against the survivors at the basement. The moment that he gets awakened by either making a lot of noise like the victims, or if they open a door, it means that either the victims are gonna be going up or the other two killers can go down to the basement and just make it harder for the victims to escape from there. So it just the grandpa waking up is a big thing into the matches, and about the whole cutscene that he awakens, like the little few seconds which we see him awaken, which yeah, it can be kind of like a bother during the matches. I get it completely, but there have been a lot of complaints in regards to that because while that is happening, like stuff is still like it's still like happening. Even though you see the cutscene, but it's not like a pause. There's no like a pause into the actually things that are happening in the match. Even there's like a way for you to just like still move during the cutscene, so you can just or pick up blood, do some like other interaction things. Like you can still like do stuff, but you just won't be able to see it. So the Grandpa Awakened cutscene has been replaced with a simple banner notification, so you won't be able to see Grandpa. I think people are gonna miss seeing Grandpa after all, but yeah, this is a good change overall. Like even though like for me it wasn't such a big deal. Sure, it gets annoying if your chainsaw gets overheated, has Leatherface. But when I was playing with someone else, it wasn't that much of a bother. But I think the matches are gonna probably be better like this. Grandpa perks on equipping match to match. Yeah, this is annoying. This does happen every once in a while when I'm playing as the killers. You just get into another lobby and the Grandpa perk has been unequipped by on its own, and you have to just equip it again. It's just like a little annoying, but it's not such a big deal. Like Saboteur perk now accurately affects the fuse box as well as the generator. Damn, I don't remember which perk is this one. I pretty much like use like kind of like only the meta perks to be honest, like the best of the best. And I don't think I have used much of this one. This one is, I think that it's one of the. I'm gonna check here in the game. That's one from the video. It's that the one that makes it harder, like the cooldown, like Saboteur perk. Is that the one that makes the cooldown time, or for like when you disable something has the victims to go back to normal? Saboteur. I'm trying. Oh yeah, Saboteur perk. After a generator of fuse box, after using the generator of fuse box, interaction cooldown for the family members is 10 seconds longer. Oh yeah, it makes it harder for the family to turn the things back to normal. Yeah, I have not used that one. That one is level 1 for me. So now accurately is also gonna be affecting the fuse box as well to generator. So the fuse like is gonna take longer for the because right now like once the fuse box becomes available for the family to turn it down, it's usually very fast. So now it's gonna, if they have this perk, it's gonna take a little more time. To be honest, I don't really see that much people using this, at least with friends that I play it. Usually they don't use it that much. They usually like, I don't know, I just don't think it's that useful of a perk. For me, I think there are usually like better ones to use, but okay. Family exploits Valve. Yeah, it's been a thing, and I'll say that I have never used this, but I have played with people that use it. And I'm gonna be honest, when I'm in Slaughterhouse map, I don't really mind people using this, because the Valve location in that map is so bad for the family, there is barely much of a counterplay. So I didn't really care about, because I think that family members came up with this exploit as a way to counter a problem within that map. Like, there is not much of a counterplay, so like if people are feeling like they're in a very unfair situation, they're gonna find mechanics in the game to try to counter that, so they can have a fair chance. And in this case, involved actually exploiting the game. Yeah, it was an annoying exploit. Sure, like for the victims, if they use it like in other maps, sure, it can be annoying. But I think that the whole thing with the Valve, especially in Slaughterhouse, it is very bad for the family. So I really didn't care about my teammates using it. I admit it. I just didn't really care. But since they're gonna be changing the Valve location on Slaughterhouse, then it's all good. It's all good for me. The ability to instantly exploit the Valve closing mechanics being addressed, which was by using Letterface. You can, I think it only worked with Letterface, which you could just close the Valve instantly. And I think that is okay, because they are gonna change stuff in regards to the Valve, so that's okay. Since they're changing like stuff to the Valve, also the building up pressure at the Valve, turning off the Valve will now repressure the tank, so it's gonna back to 0. The problem with the Valve is that like it just builds up over time, so they can just keep opening it. Even if you close it, it doesn't lose the time that like the how much it has run until it goes green. Now it starts in red and it goes until it's green. So even if you close it, the timer is still going towards the green, and so the victims can just keep doing that over and over, just keep it like reopening until the gate's eventually gonna get closed. And unless you have like only 2 family members camping there, there's not much of a counterplay. I think the Valve, once the Valve is triggered, is like a countdown until it's gonna be opening, and the family is gonna get fucked. Like, I think the Valve is probably like the easiest. I mean, once you trigger it, it's the easiest way to escape, because the gate's really big. Once you trigger it, there's not much the family can do to counterplay it. Sure, there's a timer to the gate. It's gonna eventually close down, but usually there is a lot of time for the other victims to just go there and escape. So like usually the Valve, like especially in Slaughterhouse, it's just too easy. It was just way too easy to win the match as the victims with the Valve. But okay, they are fixing this Valve. They're making it harder for the Valve escape to be achieved by the victims. So yeah, fix the exploits. I'm completely 100% in favor of removing any exploits in the game, as long as the whole matches are being fair. Johnny Trail Ghost Code, fixing testing for a bug that made the footprints disappear for Johnny almost instantly. I experienced that, but I think that most of the times it was because like a victim was dying, or I think I run out. I think there's a timer to how much time the footprint stays available for him to investigate. But yeah, okay, that's good. And I like to use Johnny, so that's good for me. If a lobby has 5 out of 7 victims ready, the match timer drops to 30 seconds. 5 out of 7 victims are great. What the? Wait, what do you mean 5 out of 7 victims? Because there are 4 victims in the match, in the lobby. It's 4 victims against 3 killers. So I think they mean players here instead of victims. If 5 out of 7 players press ready, the countdown goes 0. I don't think it's means like victims, but like I think it's counting both victims and killers in this one. Trail of Blood. The blood trails left behind by victims will now match the constant version on PC as well. Yeah, I saw a player that plays with me. He did say that the blood trails don't show up on PC as well as it did in console. So probably referring to that. Security ping lockdown. Security ping perks now only affect the cook logs. I think, wasn't that already the case? I'm pretty sure. Wasn't it affecting? What's that? Where's that perk bugged? Because it says here, security pings. The added locks are 50% harder to unlock for victims. I thought it was already the case. Like, I didn't know this. Because it says added locks. The locks, the padlocks that the cook adds. Like, it's not like auto locks, or was it working for auto locks? I thought this was already the case for security ping, so I don't know. Building up pressure, turning off the valve will now repressure the tank, so it goes back to 0 if the family closes it. So it's gonna be harder for the victims to be able to do the valve escape. They're gonna have like to retry hard, and like people gonna have like to gang up to keep stunning the killers so they don't close it. It is gonna be harder. It's not gonna be such an easy escape anymore. Exotic house renovations. Yes, yes, this is what we needed. A particularly tricky valve tank will be relocated upstairs for better visibility. Yes, this is what I needed. Exotic house, even without the valve camp, the valve tank, it's already like the most victim-sided map. Just because of how big it is, it's harder for the killers to be able to control all the areas that are very far from each other for the different doors. So it's just easier for them to control it, to move around. And when you add the valve tank that is like downstairs, they have to not only cross the whole map that is bigger than the other ones, but also have to go down, go up. It just becomes a nightmare for the killers. There is not much of what they can do in that situation. Smokehouse closed for business. The smokehouse door on the gas station map is being reworked. Oh, okay. I'm interested in that. Cook ability tuning. Crouch walking will now hold you from the cook seek ability. And the duration of the outlines due to the rate texture have been fixed. I thought that crouch walking already hided you from the cook seek ability, because for the seek ability to appear, usually you need to be moving, like you need to be like running, jogging, like you need to be moving a little faster. I already thought that crouch walking already, because I don't think I've ever been spotted by a cook using seek. But while crouching, usually that's when you're running, that's when they can hear you. Tie it off. Tourniquet perk is being fixed and no longer completely remove bleed out effects. Damn it. Which perk is that? I'll be gonna be honest, I have not tried every single perk. I have no patience to try to level up every single perk in this game. There are just way too many, and I don't feel like always having to respect my characters. Like at one point I'm like, I'm just gonna stay with this build because I already level up all my perks. They're good. They're doing a good job, so I'm not gonna be trying to level up every single one of them. Is this one for killer or survivor? Because I'm not finding it in the survivors. Or I don't know if this is an exclusive perk for just one specific character. I don't know about this one, to be honest. But it's not any that I have used it before. The Tortonet perk is supposed to remove bleed out, won't completely remove bleed out effect, so it's gonna be like a nerf. I assume to this perk. Auto crouch toggle, testing out a toggle for the auto crouch so players can choose to turn it off. Oh, okay. No cell versus the chainsaw. No cell will now more accurately affect overhead chainsaw attacks from light base. Isn't already like doing it as it should? Because like usually even when I use no cell in almost all the victims that I have. And even when Letterface goes with like the super chainsaw attack, like to charge it, the overhead charge it chainsaw, usually it does, like if it's like level 3, the reduction seems to be working well, to be honest. Like I think the reduction of the damage is pretty good. Like I don't get one-shotted if I have no cell in the first attack. So when it's active, I never get one-shotted, so well, but okay. And more to come. Under investigation, grappling, tuning, perk rebalancing, parting disbanding. Yeah, there's some perks that are clearly much better than the others, so people just stick to the meta. They just get the best ones, they just use that. Issues with achievements and unlockables, issues with perks and abilities. So we have a lot of good things to come in this game, apparently. That's good. So like you guys might have like, I might buy the next characters, the next new victim, new killer that you guys add into the future. Well, if you guys do these changes to this game, okay, I might get those ones because I'll probably stay playing this game for a little longer if you guys are really planning to improve this as well. But I think that guys, we have great news coming up to the game. This is just some great patches they're gonna be doing in this game. Just great fixes that are gonna be coming up in this game, and this is overall great for the player base